Hello, Jimjamatic here. Welcome to the worst weapons list of Series 1 and 2. This one is going to be very interesting because unlike Series 1 and 2 for the best weapons, where it was a little bit hard coming up with the top 10, this one was a lot easier coming up with the top 10 because there's so many shitty weapons out there. And joining me once again, it is Anderson 9132, the Robot Wars Guru.
Hooray!
I said it.
Yeah. Oh, that is the only bit of joy I'm going to have in this friggin' episode. Oh.
Yay! Oh well.
Let's hear them. I can't wait to discuss these crappy weapons because I've been meaning to rant for a while now, so I'm looking forward to this.
It'll be awesome. I'm sure you'll enjoy ranting about them. But yes, let's just get this. Let's rip the plaster off as fast as we can. Let's start. Number 10, Napalm's mandibles / the stupid chainsaw they stuck on it.
Okay, first of all, what's the fucking point in the chainsaw, yo? That's pointless.
The whole point was obviously they were going to open up the jaws and the chainsaw would activate, but it fell off in 2 seconds because they stuck it on with like Pritt stick, and then the mandibles kept appearing. This robot will never stop using those mandibles, and this is the last time I'll ever talk about the mandibles. I won't put it in any of the future lists, but my god, the mandibles were just dumb.
They fell at like 1 centimeter an hour.
Yeah,
they were blunter than a friggin' basketball. I don't get what the actual point was of them. You do more damage flicking rubber bands at your opponents. I mean, it just.
The best part about it was I remember in the in its final against Demolition Demon, you see they just bounce off the weapon. There's the armor of Demolition Demons. There's no weight to them whatsoever. It's just.
It's like a drunken horse's head flopping around.
Yeah, and this is number 10, by the way. This is weapon. I mean, to the weapon's credit, it actually worked all the time, and actually, for lack of a better words, actually functioned the way it was supposed to. You know, at least it was relatively active, and at least it was actually out of the robot, so it can actually fight another robot with it, and it wasn't pathetic. It moved at an okayish speed compared to some robots' weapons, like certain Series 3 robots we'll get to in future lists.
Do you think that that they didn't have a... I personally believe this is true, though. When it comes to Napalm's mandibles, I don't think they had a motor to make it lower. I think they just stopped the power and let gravity do its job.
Yeah, I think they did. I mean, you can see multiple times they just fall. It just falls in some areas, so... Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, Napalm mandibles suck. And again, this is number 10, so... Yay. Number 9 is Series 1, Elvis's Little Ram.
Oh, what, that stupid friggin' raising, lowering lampshade crap.
It looks like one of those little plastic grabbing claws you get from like a pound shop. That's what it looks like, and it's the fact that the guy managed to injure himself on this robot as well. I mean, it's just Elvis. I love it. It comes out. You see it. It comes out and it just wobbles a little bit. Like this thing has no weight behind it, and he expected this to be a weapon. I mean, the Series 2 version wasn't that great either, but at least the weapons both worked. This one,
at least you could actually call them weapons.
Yeah, a saw and a flipper you can call a weapon. You can't call a ram that flops out of the robot like plastic. That's basically what it does. It just kind of boing. That's basically what it was. It's like a comedy spring. That's basically what it was, and it was just completely useless. There was no reason for it, and yeah, it's Series 1 dumb. What'd you expect?
It's awful. It's horrendous.
Number 8 actually was one that I hadn't really thought about. I went back through them again just to do a little quick run. I went, oh yeah, these robots had weapons. Number 8, Wizard. With what the hell it had around it. It had a drill bit, it had a whipping chain, it had it had a voice on it. That was very important. Which sounded really hellish when you listen to it. It's not like some serial killer would use. The whole robot, they tried to, bless them, I love Wizard, but they tried to put like weapons on this round robot that wasn't meant to be. And they should have just done what the Chrome Lot did and just stuck a spike on it. That would have been 10 times easier than just putting whatever they put on Wizard. I don't really know what the weapons are. There's like a drill bit, a whip. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, if you could help me, that would be very helpful because I honestly have no
idea what they were even attempting with this. I mean, I'm happy to say that at least the witch had an axe. All right, I mean, yeah, it was crap, but it was at least an attempt at a weapon.
It didn't work either.
You can't stick a bicycle chain on the base of your robot and call it a whip weapon. I'm sorry.
No, you
This ain't
can't.
no BSM crap.
No, you can't do that, unfortunately. But Wizard, again, at least it's a comedy robot, and it's not too bad, I guess. But it's still... that was one robot I just literally glossed over and went, oh yeah, that had weapons. So, why
You
not?
actually forget it had them, don't you? Because you never saw them do anything with them.
You saw the flail move around a little bit, but that was it.
When I was younger, I thought there was actually a chain from the drive that had fallen out or something. I didn't realise that was actually meant to be a weapon.
Yeah, chain whip is one of its weapons. And it says it in the intro, chain whip weapon, which is hilarious to say in a sentence.
Imagine the Robot Wars announcer saying that. That'd be brilliant.
Chain whip weapon and whatever that is.
Whip weapon.
And drill bit. It puts the drill bit on Sir Chrome. It puts the drill bit on Sir Chromalot where it flopped about and broke to shame.
What? The waggling.
Yeah, the waggling stick. It's the successor to that. It really is. Oh Jesus!
It's a friggin' pipe cleaner.
Yeah. Number 7 though is a robot I'm not a fan of, and the weapon I'm not a fan of. It's Cruella's saw. Tiny little saw with the motor is probably larger than the saw. I don't get what the point is. So high up. It barely sticks out the robot. That's a theme. This is not the last saw robot. This is not the last weapon that barely sticks out the robot. Well, there are at least 2 others on. There's 3 others on this list that happen, and I don't get it. It just has no.
It was Joe. I mean, they coloured it bright red as well. They gave it a bright red weapon motor and left it on the top of the robot. I mean, that's just basically painting a friggin' target on your machine, isn't it?
Yeah, and I love the weapon mode is exposed. It's just, oh boy, I don't really know why it's even on here. There was one robot I was also considering on this list was definitely Groundhog, but at least you could see the saw on that thing. You can't see the saw on Cruella whatsoever. So yeah, Cruella's saw is just really bad. And I mentioned it in the review we did as well, but yeah, I'm not a fan of Cruella either, so it doesn't help.
Wouldn't it have been hard? Would it have been so hard to just have it on the front, like sticking through the wedge? That would have made more sense. They could have got under robots, let it slice them up as they got underneath them. You could actually protect the weapon motor under the shell.
Yeah,
common sense.
Yeah, but knowing Philip Martin, he wouldn't be able to drive the robot properly, so that would also have been a problem.
Oh yeah, of course.
That would have been. Yeah, he's greatest driver ever.
He's got to be up there with worst drivers. He's got to be up there with worst drivers ever.
I mean,
along with the guy from Spac.
I mean, he's the whole reason why in Series 1 they didn't beat Robot the Bruce when they could have. So
Yeah, they could have won that match.
And they didn't. Well done, Philip.
Jesus.
Number 6 is another. This actually was suggested in our Fight Court chat, which I completely I forgot about it. Bodyhammer, the saw and the little tiny little flipper thing.
The little jabby spike that came out of it.
And the saw that's also just stuck on it. It looks like it looks like a piece of corrugated cardboard. It really does. The saw.
Yes.
But I mean, Bodyhammer, while the Series 1 didn't really use its weapon at all, it had a weapon that came out of the robot, as Mr. Psycho described it, a flaccid dick that falls out of the robot. But Bodyhammer's saw and flipper combo, I don't get how are they going to flip anything?
It's not a flipper. It's a jabbing spike.
But what we're gonna do? What was it gonna do though? Well, I mean, it didn't get off the ram rig, did it? When it tried to desperately use it, and it kind of reminds me of another plastic pound toy. Because you kind of pull a little thing and then it kind of zooms off like a pullback.
Oh yeah.
Like it has one of the legs like a walking dinosaur or something. If you tip it upside down and let the legs go, woo, that's what the flipper was doing. It just went flying. Just went really fast but didn't do anything. And then the saw again.
They're just way too low down on the robot as well. Like they're just not going to do anything there.
And the sad thing is, this is probably the best robot on this list because Bodyhammer in the internet battle was really fast, got underneath the robots, was really powerful. Was it because of the weapon? No.
No. It was another robot that was sadly let down by the gauntlet stage.
Yeah, definitely.
Unfortunately, we never got to see it in the arena, and we should have done, and it would have been good. But oh man, this battle, just the weapons though. I mean, they're just the pullbacks would be more effective when it comes to the weaponry.
definitely.
Okay.
Number 5 is Shogun's forklift slash
Oh god.
penknife at the back. I don't know what it is. It just kind of slip. You see it like for one shot, and then it just goes.
It's a plastic cutlery knife. That's what it is.
That's what it looks like. And the forklifts are so tiny. Like, you made fun of Dreadnoughts ones, but Jesus, they're just like so close. That's why Dreadnoughts are not on the list, by the way, because I couldn't really think of anything worse than Shogun's forklifts, really, because they don't actually.
They stick out like a millimeter out, don't they, or something?
Yeah, they're so thin. They didn't use anything, and the robot wasn't probably not very that great either. Again, really heavy for some reason. But I mean, these guys came from Rolls Royce, and they made this thing. I don't know. It's just the forklifts are so tiny. I don't know what they expected to do. Like how they're going to lift anything. How the little axe blade thing was going to do any damage. And also the little raspberry kiss thing, because we needed that in Robot Wars as well. I am shaking my head in disapproval. I can understand. I really don't get it.
Do you think these things could actually lift anything?
No, I really don't think. I don't think it could lift my phone. So yeah.
I mean, A-Kills, from Series 6, there's a according to could lift the skin off a rice pudding. I think this could do that.
And his axe could crush a strawberry. I don't think they could do anything like that level. No, I don't think so. I think the skin of the strawberry would probably win. Yes.
Just drop a strawberry on it, it wins. Ultimate drop zone, lads.
Yay! Screw the bowling balls. We've got strawberries. Oh god. Number 4 is the laughing stock of the Robot Wars community. Pièce de Resistance floppy scoop. The one that couldn't push any barrels down, couldn't knock any bricks over. I love Team Death. All their robots were made in under 100 quid. You can tell. I love them. They're great. They knew the robots weren't that great. They're having fun. They didn't really care. But that scoop, I love the fact in the trials when they go to before they hit the barrels, the scoop's already like lifted upwards. Like someone clearly moved it and couldn't be bothered to put it back down again, so it's just bending all over the place. Like they say it's flexible, so it's easy to it's more has more options, but now it just makes it worse.
It was bent. All right, I'm sorry. That thing was bent. It was horrendous.
I love it though. I love PS Resistance though.
Yeah, it's great. It's crap. It's stupid. It's pointless. Pathetic. It's PS de Resistance, and we love it.
Yeah, and also they also had dead spikes as well, in case we all forget that, because they're little. Basically, they just took it off the top of a fence and just stuck it at the back of a robot, and there you go.
It's another one like Killertron, where they literally went to a garden supply store, just got what they could find, and they found a snow shovel. Oh, that'll do.
Yeah,
let's chuck that into a microwave, shall we?
Yeah, but I love this robot, but the scoop mainly is the one that gets the number 4 list on this particular list. Number 3 is Flirty Skirty's lifting skirts. They lift about 2 centimeters up the ground, and they were supposed to flip all the robots over, apparently.
They're only 2 centimeters long in anyway, so they can barely get under anything.
Yeah, and how are they going to flip anything over again? Really? I mean, the robot move goes at 2 miles an hour. It's a box with a shell falls off it. It's also has a little spike as well, didn't it? Just lifted up with the robot. So what was that going to do? Was that going to gain purchase or something? Is that going to is that flip over groundhog? What was it meant to do?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Right, points for ingenuity, but just because you're original doesn't mean you're good. Again, I'm sorry. It's the truth.
To the team's credit, I love the fact it was 3 generations of the same family making a robot. And again, while Missile wasn't that great, it was at least a better robot than in Flirty Skirty. And they also had Shockwave which actually wasn't that bad. Shockwave to its credit, it was decent at least. It was probably the best robot they made. So yeah, it's something. But yeah, I don't know what Flirty Skirty is. Again, I know what it was meant to do, but I don't see how it's ever going to do anything like that. I love it though. That's fact. It counts as a weapon as well, which makes me laugh. It's not even a design feature; it is a weapon. So that's why
it's essentially a ground clearance altering device.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's a weapon. No.
No. Number 2 is Detonator's RAM.
Number 2, number 2.
Number 2.
Does this count? Does this count because it's static? Does this count?
It was the only exception, but do you know what? It's so shit. It's right. No, it's the right. They had the gall to call it a battering ram, and it's a pipe. So I'm sorry. I know I'm breaking my rules, but only for Detonator. But I wouldn't do it for any other robot. But I just had to put this on the list.
You know why they put the pipe on there, don't you? They made it have a pipe. It's because the hamster that powered the robot inside it needed to breathe.
Yeah.
So they put that on. There's like a little oxygen tunnel for it, because otherwise the poor little hamster wouldn't be able to breathe. Because that's what it was powered on, wasn't it? Let's be honest. It was a hamster wheel.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame projectile weapons weren't allowed. Because I'd love to see like a rocket or a flamethrower come out of that thing, but it's just a pipe.
I always like the idea of something that fired nuts and bolts at robots, like shrapnel sort of ideas. You know, that would have been pretty cool.
It'd be cool if it was if it was legal.
Yeah,
then that'd be great. But again, I'm breaking my rules here, but only for this one exception, because Detonator is just so crap. I've got 2 of their robots on this list, so that's a good sign.
And I'm going to guess this right now. I'm guessing when it comes to Series 4 time, Shadow and Napalm's wonderfully powerful lifting arm.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be on the list. Don't worry, that will be definitely on the list.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's not much of a spoiler, really. Let's face it.
Everyone knew that was going to be on there.
Yeah, but number 1 is the infamous Angel of Death saws. Where do I begin with this? Right, Angel of Death saws stick out like a centimetre out of the robot. It's got a saw on the back in case it gets flipped over. The problem is it goes like 4 miles an hour, so no one's going to be and this is Series 2, so no one's going to be flipping you over, virtually, apart from maybe GBH. And, like, why were they thinking about this? Like, why are the saws so in the robot? Like,
they're so ineffective because they just can't get to anything.
Yeah, they're right. It just looks like a slit in the robot, and that's all it is.
Like I said, I actually thought they removed the saws.
No, they're there.
They hadn't. They're actually in there. I don't know what's going on.
I think what shocked me the most was when I saw when they in the pits and they'd lost and all that. They had a saw at the back as well, on the wedge that's facing downwards. Yes. Which again, it was for them self-righting if they could use a weapon on both sides, because you need 2 of those saws because one saw was so good. You needed to put a second one at the back when you probably could have put another set of wheels maybe to make your robot slightly faster. But I mean, it's 2-wheel drive, isn't it, Smart? It's
2-wheel drive. It's not like it's anything particularly good. And it barely moves.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, the problem with circular saws is you need a little bit of oomph behind them. There's a reason why Dead Metal Saw was so powerful, because it was on that the sort of extension arm.
Yeah.
So it would slowly release and pressure into a robot. But this thing just did nothing. There was nothing for it to do.
I mean, the way to improve Angel Death for me was just get rid of the back saw. If you're really desperate to have a saw, get rid of the back saw and put an extra set of wheels in to make it a bit faster, or maybe make the wheels slightly larger so you got more ground clearance. Instead, it just felt a bit. Or
just chuck it away and start again. That's what I do to improve it.
That's also good. That's also a very constructive solution there. But Angel of Death, in my opinion, has the worst set of weapons of Series 1 and 2, and that's saying something because look at the shit we've just talked about. Oh, God. I mean, obviously, there were honorable mentions, obviously. There's people like Groundhog Saw. There is, obviously, the one I completely forgot about, Talk of the Devil's little drill thing.
Yes.
We had Scrapper's Saws are also going to be a good enough nomination to move weapons. Hell, I could even put Sergeant Bash's saw, honestly. If I wasn't.
Sorry.
Scarab's axe was just kind of a floppy.
Yeah. I was about to say that. Yeah, Scarab and Ramesses II's axes were just dreadful.
Millie Ambug's saw as well was also a possible nomination.
Oh yes, her little wood mandibles.
The little mandible. Yeah, because there's a saw inside there as well, which made me laugh because you're not going to get even near knowing. And also Tender Caresses saws as well were also.
Oh, what about Wedgehog's axe as well? I mean, come on, that thing was.
Wedgehog's axe is definitely there as well. I let Wedgehog go mainly because of the fact that it was a tiny little middleweight, and I don't know what they expected from a middleweight to have a powerful weapon, but heavyweight's got no excuse.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, that was my top 10 worst weapons of Series 1 and 2. Thank you, Anson, for suffering for both these lists. And joining me we're recording it on tomorrow actually. The best and worst weapons of Series 3. They'll be top 20s. not top 10s, because we actually have a lot of shit robots for worse weapons. So, you know what, I couldn't help but put them into a top 20, and the same with the best weapons as well, because we actually get some good weapons in Series 3. So, yeah, and joining me for that will be Mr. Psycho, Mike, so that'd be quite cool. Mr. Psycho 2, sorry. So, again, just like this one, I won't tell him what the actual answers are. He'll find out along the way. But
I'm just gonna have a few. Yeah, I'm just gonna have a few guesses quickly. Obviously, for best, we've got again have Razor in there, Hypnodisc, Chaos 2. I think they're givens. And I'd say I think Firestorm and Facet are probably up there as well. Worst, oh god,
where to begin?
Where to begin? Yeah. Sergeant Meekle, the Iron Mask, they've both got to be up there somewhere. Agrabot's little spring spike thing, Binky's snowplow death thing, Backstabber's droopy with your tail axe.
I have to correct you on one of those. Binky's a non-active weapon, so I'm only breaking the rule for Detonator once.
Oh yeah, it doesn't count. Yeah, it doesn't.
I'm sorry.
Count.
Even though it would go in my top 10 worst, don't worry. But in terms of actual weapons, it doesn't really count.
Revenge's chainsaw lifty thing. What the fuck that was?
Oh yeah, the chain lifts. They always worked. But yeah, so that's a list for another time. Obviously, I'm Jimjamatic signing off.
I'm Ant9132. The Robot Wars Guru.
Bye, folks.